Welcome. In this short video, we will provide some tips and tricks for giving effective online presentations. Speaking online, whether synchronously via WebEx or Zoom, or asynchronously to be recorded and watched later, can first seem like a daunting task. Although speaking online shares many similarities with speaking in person, there are a few additional tips to keep in mind. First of all, let's consider your posture. Make sure you choose a sturdy chair that you can sit up straight in, preferably a seat with no arms so you can gesture easily. We recommend sitting while you are presenting, so you're not as prone to fidgeting or swaying from side to side. Some web cameras may not be able to focus well if you move too much. Lean forward toward the camera to show engagement and interest, just like you would when you are engaged in a stimulating conversation. Be careful not to recline in your seat. Your posture shows others how much you care about your presentation. Now that you are sitting comfortably, let's consider your camera. You will want to make sure your camera captures your face and your chest. In other words, your camera should be close enough that we can see your facial expressions, but far enough away to capture your gestures. Take a look around your room at this point. The scene behind you should be neat, professional, and not distracting. Having a neutral or blank wall behind you is a good idea too. Now let's consider your audio. While most computers have a built-in microphone, this is generally not ideal. Headphones or earbuds with a mic built into them will provide your audience with higher quality sound and minimize environmental noises. Earbuds, whether wired or wireless, are discreet too. If possible, try to reduce additional environmental noise by closing your door or window and letting household members know in advance that you are presenting. Of course, not all noise can be avoided, whether it be from children, pets, or others, and this is understandable. When presenting online, eye contact is an area that we have to reconsider. While when speaking in person, we need to scan the audience from side to side, when presenting online, we need to look at our camera. Looking at your camera, especially if it's attached to your computer, may not come naturally because you may be looking at the slides on your screen or your audience members' videos. Record yourself speaking in front of your camera first to see if you are making good eye contact in the video, and adjust your gaze as needed. For this reason, practicing in advance and making note cards is important. If you plan to use a prop or show something, practice using it in front of the camera. Also, just like an in-person presentation, only occasionally glance at your slides. Do not read from them. Gestures should match what you are discussing and should be used. While speaking in person calls for gestures that are between your waist and chest height, gestures for online might need to be adjusted to be seen on camera. If you're afraid that you will forget to gesture, you can always indicate to do so in your notes. Head movement and facial expressions are just as important online as in person, as it shows your presence and engagement. You would not want to watch a presentation where someone was dead still the whole time, and neither does your audience. Make sure your facial expressions match what you are discussing. If you're giving a funny anecdote, be sure to smile and nod. If you're asking a question or asking the audience to consider an idea, you can tilt your head. Refrain from moving around constantly, though, as this can be disorienting for your audience. Your tone and directive language are very important when speaking online. Just like in person, make sure you show vocal variation by changing the pitch, rate, voice volume, and other features of your voice to be more engaging for your audience. Aim for an informative yet conversational tone to increase interaction. Avoid sounding monotone, as you could lose your audience's interest in your subject. Since we cannot use gestures to point to our presentation, clear directions are especially important. Use directive language by saying things like, "Look at the picture on the right," or, "If you look at the lower left side of this chart." Pointing with your mouse is not recommended due to issues with lag and lack of visibility. Specify how you'd like participants to interact, whether you prefer them to save their questions for the end or to type them in the chat box during the presentation. To review, we have covered your posture, camera and surroundings, audio, eye contact, facial expressions and head movement, gestures, and tone. We have also discussed the importance of preparing your speech in advance, making note cards, and practicing your speech online. We hope these tips and ideas come in handy for your next online presentation. Thank you for watching our video. For more videos, be sure to check out the CCE's YouTube channel.